The other day I saw Guillermo del Toro's version of Frankenstein. It's a great movie. I highly recommend it. Um, the actor, I wish I could remember his name, but the actor who played Dr. Frankenstein was excellent. And I think what was unique about him, apart from a lot of the other performances that I've seen in my life, is that he did not just portray Dr. Frankenstein as the usual kind of pathetic lunatic nutcase that he brought out. This actor brought out the arrogance in the character, that sort of sadistic quality of basically treating the creature that he created like this slab of meat that was basically a conduit through which he could control nature, and which is very telling on many different levels. It's disturbing on many different levels, including something that I saw recently about occultism in the book Frankenstein, and the guy who made the video made a very interesting point, which is that Frankenstein is actually more of a product of the Enlightenment era than it is of Romanticism, even though usually it is characterized as Romanticism. And I never thought about that before, and that is actually true, because that sadism that you see in Dr. Frankenstein is brings out a lot of the fraudulence and the hypocrisy, and also the kind of nefarious qualities that you would see in the Enlightenment era, right? Including the point that I just made at the beginning of the video about the slab of meat puppet that has to be manipulated and controlled. And the master of this puppet, the puppet master, can essentially create his own laws. Can create his own natural laws or bend the natural laws that already exist. And I do wonder how much of that really was going on behind the curtains when the Enlightenment era actually began. And how many of these scientific quacks probably used the theory of rationalism and the sort of materialistic perspective to justify a lot of these really sick practices. And of course, I think that the way that the creature was treated seemed to translate to many issues, or many things that illustrate the relationship between those in power and human nature, just the masses, the average person, right? And that is one of the things I think that is very disturbing about it, because and the reason why I have before brought up the relationship between Frankenstein and the New Age community is that in the New Age community often there's several different little subcategories, right? That there's some people, the really kooky people, who will start believing that they are gods in themselves, usually under the influence of drugs. They will sometimes get into the theories like solipsism, or maybe even nihilism at times, and that is where I think it does overlap with a lot of the shadiness that you see within the Enlightenment movement, right? Whereas Romanticism is more of a kind of it's a spirituality that involves exploring your own inner child, right? It's using the natural world, accepting that there are natural laws that you cannot control. You don't make natural laws, right? But it's instead you follow a kind of more of a humanistic perspective, right? You are an individual. There is meaning in life, but you have to create your own path. And it also involves the exploration of your own imagination. So I think that is why I think that video in particular made an excellent point. I think that this movie illustrates these issues the best.